Hi folks, Scott here, review guys. It's that time of year again. If you couldn't tell from the theme music, which we paid a lot for, by the way, and if you can't tell by my horrible outfit, I know it's not good, but I just kind of didn't have anything else to wear. Plus, gold and black, very similar to the coveted Wrestlies statuette, gold and black. This is the Wrestlies, if you've never seen them before, or heard of it, and I don't blame you. This is our annual award presentation, basically our year-end list, where we talk about things that we saw and liked and whatever for the year, and present coveted awards, which become really more, anyway, more prized than any. Chris couldn't be here. I tried to get him. He's just too expensive. I tried to get Spike TV to help, share the cost of bringing him in, but just no dice. Not this year. Maybe next year. Although, this year we do have a logo and an envelope. You see how this works? We're going places. We Wrestliers. So, let's begin with our awards. We'll start just right off the bat. The first Wrestlie of 2009 goes to Diva, Best Diva, and the Best Diva Wrestlie is the Best Diva. I just screw everything up. The Diva of the Year is Santina Marella. Santina Marella. Now I know what you're thinking to yourself. You're thinking, Scott, what? You might be unhappy with this. And I don't blame you. Let me explain. I feel like this year the Diva, the whole Diva situation has been, Happy New Year, by the way, has been, and not like that, but like that. I didn't know if you could tell where my hands were in relation to. JR in his blog says, unless we're given a reason to care about the divas and their personalities and their struggles and whatnot, then then the audience won't be there and for them, and that's kind of how I feel. This year, it's just been a wash. There's been some fun Piggy James stuff, Kitty Mickey James doing the, you know what I mean. And that's been nice lately. That gives us something to root for. But then this year, it kind of started out on a sour note. They bring in all of these divas. They're going to crown Miss WrestleMania, and they don't really introduce the divas properly. The whole thing is just a setup for the joke to introduce Santina Marella, and then you have Santina and Vicky going back and forth, and it's just, and it wasn't bad. I liked Santina, but for people who respect divas and women's wrestling, I assume they were pretty unhappy. Gilbert Blaze, who's a friend of mine, I'd like to hear your thoughts, Gilbert. I just feel like it was a bad year. Katie Lee, my brain is working a little bit slower than it should be. Katie Lee and Natalia, competent women's wrestlers who were hardly used at all. So bad year for the divas. Therefore, this year's Diva of the Year is actually a man. So, just goes to show you. Next Wrestlie goes to the most annoying superstar. Now, this is not very nice. This isn't a nice thing to do. And it's not that we dislike their persona or their gimmick. It's just that we don't like them personally. So this year, and I think I know who you think I'm going to say, this year's most annoying superstar is David Hart Smith. There, yes, I said it. You thought I was going to say the other guy, but no. David Hart Smith has been bothering me much longer than that guy, who we'll get to in a moment. D.H. Smith, he might be good and competent in any other role. He might be a good face. I just don't think he carries the weight of the Hart dynasty well. He's just kind of this dopey is a word I want to use, which is not nice. And I'm sure he's a delightful person, but in this role, No. I feel like he's holding back Natalya and Tyson Kidd. I feel like the two of them, or either one of them, together or apart, could go somewhere without him. So, D.H. Smith, sorry, but you do get a statuette. That's the good thing. Yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing, sure, but you have the coveted, right? You can just scratch out the name, the most annoying part on the nameplate when you get a nameplate. We have those made up later. The next Wrestling goes to the Tag Team of the Year. Tag Team of the Year, Wrestling. Tag Team of the Year, Jericho. Not a whole lot to say, I don't think. Except that, I don't know, I felt like it was a very, I feel like Big Show was withering on the vine, in my opinion. He was a face, it seems like, to begin with, and then he kind of became a monster heel, which is my least favorite role in professional wrestling. I hate monster heels, and especially with somebody like Big Show, who I think has more to offer than that. I was really getting bored with him, and when I heard that Jericho had picked him, I thought to myself, oh no, not Big Show. But then he started coming out in a tie, and in the, you know, the suit and everything, and it really, really started to click and started to work almost right away. Actually, right away. And I began looking forward to them. They were everywhere, but it was great. And they just lost, which is fine with me. I mentioned it recently. I don't want them to... I didn't want them to make it stale, which they didn't. And so it's still kind of unfolding and playing out. But Jericho, Tag Team of the Year. The next Wrestling is presented in the category of Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. This year's Wrestling for Rookie of the Year goes to, this is going to be controversial, goes to no one. Yep, I said it. Nobody. Nobody gets the Wrestling for Rookie of the Year. Do you see this? We're going to lay it down on its side, like checkmate. Why does nobody get the Wrestling for Rookie of the Year? Because I'm not impressed by anybody. If I had to pick somebody, I would say Drew McIntyre. He's the best of the new guys, but I just don't feel it with anybody. Yoshitatsu, he seems delightful, but nope, sorry. Sheamus. And I really can't even think. Abraham Washington, he doesn't do a whole lot for me. And if I'm forgetting somebody, please name your favorite, favorites of all of the categories below. But if I'm missing a rookie, there's really nobody. I can't think of very many at all, and there's really nobody that really inspires me. Christian Cage was a comeback, so that doesn't count. Or Christian, not Cage. Zack Ryder has been around, just a new gimmick. I really like the Slam Master J gimmick. I don't like the name, but I think the gimmick, if handled properly, is going to be a very good thing. But I don't think they're going to handle it properly, and I think that yeah, I just think it's another tag team where Jimmy Wang Yang finally gets something to do, and then they're going to release his partner. My personal feeling. But, yeah, so, let me know if you think there's anybody who deserves it, but I don't think anybody deserves Rookie of the Year. Looking at my time, the next Wrestling goes to most disappointing moment of the year. I don't know exactly how we can give a statuette to a moment, but we'll rethink this next year. Most disappointing moment of the year, Sheamus becomes the WWE Champion. My time is short for this portion of the video. I'll make a second part to finish up the ceremony. Here's my problem with Sheamus. Everything that I can say has been said, so I'll just simply say Sheamus has turned into an irrelevant champion, which I think is a waste of everybody's time and energy. Recent irrelevant champions, Jeff Hardy's first WWE reign, they didn't know what to do with him, so they got him injured. Now I understand that. They wanted to honor him for his years of service and profitability and whatnot. I get it, but they couldn't do anything with him. The next irrelevant champion, or maybe it was before that, either way, CM Punk when he won the World Heavyweight title the first time. Irrelevant. They didn't know what to do with him, didn't know how to use him. He came out with his title, waving it around, and hey, but Cena was still the star of the show. And that's what Sheamus is doing. He's stuck being a, just another guy on the roster, but he has the title. And there's just no, I don't care if Sheamus is white. I don't care if he's new. I don't care if he works out with Triple H. None of that matters to me. The only thing that matters is that he doesn't inspire any emotion. I don't want to root for him. I don't want to root against him. He's just this guy. So, if they want to shock us, they could. There have to be a million ways to shock us. So, most disappointing moment of the year, Sheamus wins the title. I will now pause. Part number 2, upcoming. Stay tuned.